Hey, my Taurus babies, what's happening? I know y'all like it's Monday. Why are you here? Yeah, I'm doing bonus. Bonus Taurus, bonus money, bonus love. We're going to start with love first because that's how I shuffled the cards. That was my intent. Um, from what I got a little sneaky peeky look at is that it looks like a lot of you have some positive changes coming in your love life. You sit still long enough, you will see it. I know some of y'all already jumped right out of your little bully pants because it ain't happening fast enough, but sit tight. Many of you has positive changes. Many of you are guarded because for some of you, you're dealing with situations that you've dealt with in the past. Maybe someone you've dated before or had some kind of relationship with before, and you just have a lot of hesitations and reservations about getting with this person, but things have changed. Others of you that are kind of just on the single scene and not really kicking it too hard, you may be surprised by the time you get to September, you're going to have to just basically pull your phone and your calendar out because you're going to get busy. So let's see what the cards got to say. I'm pulling 5 cards. My new deck from Kathleen Deyo. Woo, woo, woo. So let's see what we got going on here. And for all information about cards and readings and all of that, check down there. Thank you to everybody that has liked, shared, and subscribed. A reminder, I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. So we're going to do 5. Kind of pick up from maybe the beginning of the year, it feels like, and get us up to speed to where we are now. So let's see what we got out of this deck. So the 3 of Swords pulls the Hangman, the Moon, pulls the Death card, 6 of Pentacles, pulls the 8 of Wands, Queen of Cups on top of the Page of Pentacles, and 5 of Cups on the 9 of Cups. I don't feel any backward energy. Nothing is reversed. So it feels like whatever you got going on towards with whomever this is. For some of you, it could be a fire sign, another earth sign, water sign, or an air sign. So we pretty much covered everybody. Could be anybody with anything. At any rate, looking at whatever's gone on before in this relationship. I love Kathleen Deyo's card. Ain't that beautiful? Source energy art. Yeah. Anyway, 3 of Swords. And she so eloquently just hooked that heart right the hell up. Swords and all. But for some of you, this may be a situation where there was some third party activity going on, either with you or the other person. And the timing, it just feels like the timing wasn't right. And with the Hangman sitting on top of that, it just feels like there needed to be a change. Not necessarily just in perspective, but a change in the whole situation. This is major energy. So I'm just had to be pretty big. For some of you, there may have been some kind of separation or you moved apart and you recently got back in touch, but we back at the beginning of the year. So things needed to happen to get to this point. Those of you that aren't in relationships, but you've been kind of eyeballing somebody, that wink, wink, wink shit, same situation. Like there just needed to be some kind of change in their situation. Maybe they were with somebody and getting ready to break up, or we're in the process of breaking up and they might be trying to circle back around. But that's where you're coming from. Moving up a little further, you know, the Moon and the Death card, it's like, damn, death and destruction, but it's so not. A lot of you, in this day, it's about intuition as well. Well, the Moon is always about intuition, but she goes in a little in depth with the intuition piece on this. But some of you just kind of said, fuck it, we're going to just do what we doing. You go your way, I'm going to go my way. Subsequently, now everybody's starting to go through transformation. So whoever this is, whoever the person is, however this is resonating with you, You had to go through something. They had to go through something as well. Second major card, only two on the board, but that they popped up right next to each other, is telling me that both of you had to just go through some shit. Some minds needed to be changed. Some light needed to be seen. I'm just saying, old situations probably that had been around longer than any one of you two probably needed to dissipate, just fade the fuck out, however that's resonating. And so with the moon card too, it could have been that you might have been dealing with some fears, not wanting to deal with somebody that, for whatever reason, had kids or that traveled so much or whatever. So there's transformation here. You go from changing your damn mind and your perspective to a complete and total transformation, in particular dealing with your intuition and your fears. Getting a little closer, just a little closer with the Six of Pentacles. Many of you needed to go do something for somebody else. It's just that simple. You might need to go take care of your mama, your grandmama. The other person maybe needed to go take the mama, grandmama, however it's resonating. But there's a sense here that they needed to, I got empowering others on there, helping somebody else, one of you, and then the other may have been working on being self-sufficient, having to just be an individual, get out there and swing it on your own, however that's resonating. In that, it looks like some communication got started. And off and on, but hey, how you doing? It's behind all of that. What you doing? Good to see you. So some of you may have hooked up early part of the spring, just conversation, talking, text messages, instant messenger, but you had to go through some of this, being self-sufficient, doing things without the other person. Soon as you got there, and for a lot of you, it feels like as soon as you let some of this shit go back here, it's like, hey, and then they're right back in it. Those of you dealing with long-term relationships, feels like there was some type of epiphany of some sort. And so you just had to sling it out, do what you needed to do, and then the communication started. Getting a little closer, Page of Pentacles with the Queen of Coin. Same thing, same family. Intuition, hardworking. Somebody, though, it feels like was trying to get themselves together enough. And then we come back here to the Six of Pentacles, talking about being self-sufficient. Like they needed to, one or both of you, doesn't matter really, needed to set the standard and reach for it. So the other person you may have been dealing with, Taurus, may have felt like you were all that in a six-pack, but they weren't ready. I'm shaking my head over here. They weren't ready, and they weren't ready to meet that standard. Oh, the Queen, da-da-da-da, and very much about trusting. So at some point, both of you had to let go and just kind of trust the process and just go through it. Many of my dear bullies were trusting their intuition, meeting new people. It feels like many of you weren't just sitting around waiting on whatever was going to happen. You kept moving for whatever that's worth. But in the back of your mind, it feels like, just like that tree. You see that tree back there? You know that tree's back there. But you ain't paying it no attention right now. Just waiting on things to change, feelings maybe to settle down, situations to end, however that's resonating. And then just sort of trusting the process, was kind of brings us to where we are right now with the Nine of Cups and the Five of Cups. If you ain't here yet, you're headed here. A whole sense of contentment. I don't want to say happiness, but happiness is the word that's on the tip of my tongue. Almost, and it's a 9. So, that's the completion of. And so whatever started coming here, and that we're sitting right on top of a new moon right now, this could be the beginning of the second part of whatever kind of relationship this is you got going on. And you are no longer dwelling on the old shit. So I guess if I had to say, they're reversal, it would be this one. You know what I say. You're crying over some damn red wine on your white carpet and you forgetting about. But it looks like and it feels like many of you had to do that crying. And you had to go through them 3 cups. Come on, some of you might have been in third-party situations and both of you know it good and well you should be together, but we got third string over here, don't know how to get out the way. And it feels like for some of you that may have been the issue, especially if you're dealing with air or earth. For others of you, you may have just been in a head space where everything was negative, where now you can see them 2 cups standing up back there. Not dwelling in the misery, not being miserable. Again, this 9 of Cups is indicative of things being total and complete. Only thing missing is a 10. Probably won't see that to the end of the year. But it's a slow process for a lot of you that are either trying to get into a relationship with somebody, or you've been in one of them in and out, back and forth, up and down situations. It's been a slow process. But these are telling me things that needed to happen. Let's see what the oracle cards have to say. Make a note of it. Make a note of how you feel. Make a note of the synchronicity that's going on in your life. I'm just saying. Just take note. Things that are happening. Is we're out of Mercury retrograde, so it's not like you seeing double, or you're gonna lose some shit or some other shit. Venus is out of retrograde, and Venus is past its shadow point. So things that you are seeing are real. So you need to start paying attention. And again, this kind of goes back to your intuition, following. Make a note of what you see, how you feel. Those of you that are circling back on old relationships, make a note of what's going on. How do you feel? Does this feel like the same shit as before? Is it something new, something different? Depends. But whatever you're feeling is also a good indicator to do some journaling and meditating, and make a note of how you feel and look at the progression as you go. Call on your joy guides. No reason for you to be mad, upset, sad, crying, depressed, some other shit. Just because you can't see the whole building, it's there. You may need to be a little patient, but don't live in fretful misery, if that makes any sense. Don't live in fretful misery, wondering if them 2 cups back there is just going to tip over, just like the other 3. Don't. Call on your joy guides. Seek joy in your life. Make your intention to be joyful, especially about your relationships. And being in love is a wonderful thing. Woo-woo is wonderful. So enjoy where you are right in this moment. Many of y'all are like, I don't know what's going to happen. Once again, you've been through so much miserable shit, you just expecting the other shoe to drop. Stop. Enjoy what's going on. Those of you that are in that connection, even though it might not be full tilt just yet, it's nice to wake up in the morning and know that somebody's left you a text message, or that somebody's thinking about you at lunchtime, or that somebody calls you after dinner. A lot of times we overlook that shit because we're so busy trying to hook up and get together. We miss the little things. The woo-woo part of being in love is a good thing. I'm just saying. I don't know who need to hear that, but be that as it may, that's your love bonus. Hopefully it adds some insight. Those of you that are right there, take your time. Follow your intuition. Be grateful for everything. Keep it moving. I love you, my bullies. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.